Yeah, we're gonna go a couple of topics, uh, nothing lot, just basic concepts. So we'll cover two big ideas. You'll see a lot in your book and in real support work. So which Windows version and edition someone is using, and the difference between a work group and a domain. So these choices affect what features are available and how computers are managed. So first we have Windows version and editions. So Windows 10 and 11 are both Microsoft operating systems, but Windows 11 is a newer version with a newer look, some newer requirements. In real tech support, the important thing is the steps for many tasks are similar, but menus and settings can be slightly different places. Like for example, let's say if I can't find the same setting screen you see in the textbook or anywhere, if they're using Windows 11, the layout and settings can look different than Windows 10. So the option might still exist, but it may be different in different sections or labeled slightly differently. So so when you're troubleshooting, you should always confirm is it Windows 10 or Windows 11. So that saves time because it explains why screens look different. Next we have Windows Home and Windows Pro. So Windows Home and Windows Pro are editions, so meaning different feature sets. Home is meant for personal use, Pro is meant for business or advanced users, and usually includes extra management and security features. Like for example, a person wants to connect their laptop to a company network that requires domain login, but the option isn't available. So if they're running Windows Home, domain features are typically not included. Windows Pro is commonly used in workplaces because it supports business management features. So and next we have work groups and domains. So a work group is basically a simple setup where each computer is basically on its own. There are no central controller. So each PC has its own user accounts, its own settings. So it's common in very small offices or personal systems. Uh, that's the that's the work group, and domain is managed uh, is managed setup where computers are controlled through central system. Usually in a company, users can log into the same account on different computers, and IT can push policies settings to all the systems. That's how companies do their upgrades. They can't just sit at each computer and update it, so they need to have a central system. So yeah, in colleges or companies, you can log into any office computer using your employee or uh, student username and password. This that happens because the account is managed centrally in the domain. So IT can also enforce rules like password requirements, software restrictions, security settings across all devices. So uh, yeah, that's about the slide. And next we have we'll cover two more topics which you must know for operating system support work. The difference between an upgrade and a clean install, and what you should always do right after Windows is installed. Uh, so first we have upgrade installs. So an upgrade keeps the user files, apps, and settings and replaces the Windows system files with newer version. It's usually faster and it's meant to reduce disruption. Uh, for example, a person has Windows 10 and with all their app setup, documents saved, they want Windows 11 but don't want to reinstall everything. So an upgrade makes sense here because it tries to keep their programs files. The risk is that If the old system had issues, some problems can carry over after the upgrade. And we have a clean install. Clean install is basically it installs Windows fresh, usually on a wiped or a empty drive. It removes old software and settings, so you can start with a clean system. So, like for example, a computer is full of malware, random errors, constant crashes. In that case, a clean install is often best because it removes the corrupted system and gives you a fresh start. The trade-off is you must backup data first and reinstall apps after. So the uh, basic steps for Windows installation process is basically, first is you boot from the installer media, usually a USB drive, and then choose a language, basic setup options, and you select the uh, select upgrade or custom installation, and you choose the drive or partition where Windows will be installed, and Windows copies files, restarts a few times, complete first time setup like account, privacy options, and network, and it lands on the desktop and finish setup tasks. uh, and post installation essentials are after Windows installs, you're not truly done. The system may boot. It might not be secure, stable, or fully functional yet. So post install steps usually is basically, you run the Windows updates, install or update drivers, you restore user data if needed, and you install essential software. And then we have Windows updates. So Windows updates, an example is a fresh Windows is Windows install works, but it's missing security patches. Running Windows update is important because it fixes known problems and security holes. We have drivers. We have drivers and restoring user data, essential software. Uh, it's pretty straightforward. So upgrade keeps apps and files clean. Install starts fresh. The install process follows predictable steps. So after installation, always do updates, drivers, restore data if needed, and install essential software so the system is secure and stable. So that's about it. And so we'll cover the main Windows tools you'll use to troubleshoot fast, and we'll also cover the Windows um, register, which is powerful but risky if you change the wrong thing. So we have a task manager. So task manager is the first tool you open when something is slow, frozen, or acting weird. It helps you see what apps and background processes are running, and how much CPU, memory, disk, and network they are using. So you can also stop a frozen app and manage startup programs. So for example, a program freezes and won't close. You open the task manager, find the app, and you select the end task. That stops the process so the computer can respond again. That's an example, but yeah. So we have resource monitor. So resource monitor is a deeper view than task manager. It helps you figure out which specific process is using CPU, memory, disk, or network, and what files or connections it's touching. And example for this is if the computer feels slow but task manager doesn't make it obviously why. In the resource monitor, you can see exactly which process is reading and writing to the disk constantly. That helps you identify the real cause, like a backup tool, Windows search indexing, or malware scanning, so things like that. Next, we have system configuration. So system configuration is mainly used for startup and boot troubleshooting. It can help you control what loads at startup and troubleshoot boot issues. It's in modern Windows, some startup controls link you back to task manager, but uh, misconfiguration is still useful to know. uh, it's not actually called misconfiguration, it's, yeah, ms config. That's, but yeah. So uh, example for this is, uh, like for example, a PC takes a long time to boot after a new program was installed. You use system configuration to reduce startup items and services for testing. If the boot time improves, you know something that loads during startup is causing the problem. And next we have settings and control panel. So Windows has two places for setting changes. Settings is the modern menu used for most common changes. Control panel is the older style, but many advanced tools and classic settings still live there. Uh, and We have Microsoft Management Console, MMC. So MMC is like a container that holds many admin tools called snap ins. So it's commonly used for mapping things like disk manager, disk management, event viewer, or local users groups, so depending on the system. So an example for this is a drive, like for example, a drive is not showing up in the file explorer. You open the disk management uh, from the MMC tools and discover the drive is detected but has no drive letter. So assigning a drive letter makes it appear in the file explorer. The drive was fine. It wasn't just fully configured. Uh, and then we have register and safe handling. So Windows register is a database that stores settings for Windows and many installed programs. It includes like system configuration, user preferences, installed software settings, hardware related things. Uh, for an example for this is a program keeps launching on startup even after you turn it off in the normal settings. Sometimes the reason is the startup entry is stored in a register, and that shows why the register matters. It can control real system behavior. Um, and we have a high level structure. At a high level, the registry is organized like folders, entries. The folder like parts are called keys. The stored settings inside are values. So you don't need to memorize the deep layout. Just understand it's a structured place where Windows store important configuration. Think of it like a filing cabinet. Keys are the folders in the cabinet, and values are the papers inside the store uh, that store the actual settings. So if you change the wrong paper, something in Windows can stop uh, working. And when to edit and why to be careful. So you do not edit the registry for casual troubleshooting. You edit it only when you have to have a clear reason and you know exactly what change is needed. So a wrong edit can break apps, cause boot problems, or create security issues. Uh, and A guide online says, uh, you know, to change a register value to fix a problem, but it's the wrong value for your Windows version. So if you apply it blindly, the system might start throwing errors or fail to start normally. That's why registry edits should be the last step, not the first. So some of the safe handling habits you should follow is, if you ever must edit the registry, back up what you are changing first, change only the specific value needed, and document what you changed so you can undo it if something goes wrong. So yeah, task manager and resource monitor help you find what is causing slowness and freezes. MS config helps you with startup and boot troubleshooting. Settings control panel both matter because Windows splits options between them. MMC gives access to many admin tools. Registry basics. Registry is stores critical system and program settings, so only edit it when necessary and be careful. Yeah, that's all for this topics.